Good afternoon, welcome to the latest recording of Last Bell Boxing. Today we're going to do some special subjects, just some short videos on latest announcements. As you can see, this video is about Zach Parker, the latest announcement, just hot off the press this Saturday morning. So it's been announced that Zach Parker is going to fight Andrade at Pride Park May 27th, is that right, Andy?
I think so.
Anyway, it's been announced and confirmed, so great fight. I'll just give my thoughts first on Andy. So obviously this is a great fight, and what a coup for Queensbury Promotions this is. As we know, Queensbury bidded $1.83 million. Matchroom bidded 1.75, but don't get it twisted. Eddie Hearn would have wanted to win that first bid. He'd have wanted this fight in America. Andre's being dragged over to the East Midlands. I'm sure me and you'll be venturing along to this one. The only thing of note is obviously we don't know what Andre's like at super middle. We don't know how good Zach Parker is, so it really is an intriguing fight. But I've got a feeling Zach Parker might have his number. He's a very, very big boy at super middleweight. His resume isn't great, is it? I mean, last time out he beat Marcus Morrison, didn't he? But there's something about Zach Parker that I like. I think this is his breakout fight. So that's my quick summary of it. Andy, what do you reckon?
Yeah, it's a massive, in my opinion, real props to Frank Warren here, because this is massive that he's won this purse bid. The fact that Zach is now on his own turf, not just in his own country, but in his own backyard at Derby. There's a real, with what's happening at Derby at the minute, going off the tangent slightly, with what's happening at Derby at the minute, there's a real camaraderie amongst all of their city. And they're all going to get behind him for this fight because it's going to be huge. It's going to be packed. It's going to be noisy. The last thing Andrade would have wanted to do, stepping up to super middleweight, is come out of his comfort zone, and that's exactly what he's having to do to come to the UK.
And the date's the 21st of May. I got that wrong, so it's the 21st of May.
So yeah, round one to Frank Warren and Zach Parker, but a quick shout out to Neil Marsh as well for the way he steered Parker's career.
Although he wouldn't give me the exclusive last night, would he? So don't give him too much of a shout out. You saw me having an exchange with him on Twitter. So Neil, if you're watching this, come on, you know who the A side is, so you should be giving that information.
But yeah, but obviously he's not going to give you the exclusive. They want to make a big deal of it at Pride Park today, which you can't blame Zach Parker for doing. This is his real breakout, in the sense that UK fight fans know who Zach Parker is, but the world don't. I don't think I'm doing him a disservice saying that. This is going to put him right in the headlights for the whole of the world, because,
and also your casuals, under your casual fans, it's gonna make, I'd argue it would probably make the front page and back page of some newspapers, depending on how the results go. His profile's going to rock it, isn't it?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, mate. It's a massive event at a big football stadium. Yeah, it's huge, and I'm with you, mate. In my opinion, Zach Parker, he'll bully Andrade in this fight. I'm not sure Andrade has a lot left. I think he's moving up because he definitely can't do the weight anymore. But he's not. I don't think he's a massive middleweight. It's not like he was really struggling and boiling down to get to middleweight. Zach Parker is a massive super middleweight.
I mean, we can only go off previous fights, and I wasn't overly impressed with him in the Williams fight. I know some people are lauding his performance in terms of sweet science, but I've got to admit it was very good. But jumping up that little bit more weight and jumping in with someone of the size of Zach Parker's going to go looking for him.
Oh.
And it's whether he can keep Zach Parker off. I'm not sure about his power. I wasn't sure at middleweight, never mind super middleweight. So he better get Zach Parker's respect in them early rounds, or it could be a really, really long night.
I don't think he has got the power, mate. He is very slick. He's a good boxer. There's no, you can't take that away from him. There's no way, mate. No way he keeps Parker off for 12 rounds. It's not. It can't happen. Moving up as well. Don't forget, he's obviously going to be carrying more weight as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen what that did to Billy Joe Saunders. Yeah, fair enough. That was against Canelo, but even so, them few extra pounds make a big difference to a back foot fighter that's slick and moving around for 12 rounds.
And also remember, Billy Joe Saunders was, it would be fair to say, bang average for his first few super middleweight appearances.
Just because of the weight. Just because of the weight, mate. Nothing else. He didn't become a bad boxer overnight, but the weight doesn't help when you're that type of fighter.
Well, you have to fill into the weight, don't you? So, it's different.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, there's been a bit of a Twitter exchange today with myself and a friend of the show. And he seems to think that Demetrius Andrade's on the back nine, and with me saying on the back nine, you know who I'm talking about, Mr. Rick Glazer. He thinks
he's never been a fan, though, has he? He's never been a fan, Mr. Glazer.
No, but he says it how it is. He says and I think he picks Parker in this fight as well. It's definitely in Parker's favour now. It's in the UK, so big props to Frank Warren for winning this purse bid.
Yeah,
I'll give you my prediction, mate. I actually see Parker stopping Andrade.
When?
Late in the fight, because I think Andrade's gonna gas. He's not gonna be ready for the extra weight, and he'll gas late in the fight. I'll go say I think round 10. I'll go round 10. It'll be definitely in the later championship rounds.
Oh boy, I've had 9 in my head. I've had 9.
I just can't see. I don't see any other way. I can't see any other result. It's going to be. I tell you what, it's going to be like, mate. They say, don't they? When a fighter fights in a massive fight in front of his own fans, he does one of two things: he rises to the occasion, or he shrinks in his shell. We saw it last weekend with Lee Wood. Amazing performance. We've seen it with Carl Froch in his hometown. Amazing performances. And Zach Parker, in my opinion, will do the same thing in Derby.
Very intriguing fight, though, because there's a lot of facets to this fight, isn't there? Parker's never been in with anyone as good as Andrade, and Andrade's never been at super middleweight. So, it's a very intriguing fight and one that I'll be going along to. And just one other thing, I think there may be starting to be a little shift in the landscape of boxing in terms of purse bids, because obviously Queensberry are pulling some of these purse bids out the bag. And it begs a question. I know we've mentioned it a few times, but where are DAZN regarding UK boxing?
Well, make no bones about it. Eddie Hearn moved to DAZN because he thought they were going to take over the world. And they've not taken over the world. They've not got the amount of subscriptions they would have wanted.
That price hike did more damage than they thought it was going to do.
Well, I mean, I don't think the price is a problem. I think the fact that they're not advertising the app very well, because who knows about it other than real boxing fans?
They do a lot of printed press, but the demographic they're wanting don't read newspapers anymore.
That's right. They're missing out on all the football fans. The Sky model, as we've said before, the Sky model is on all of these football shows. You get in between, you get the adverts for the big boxing fights for the weekend. Soccer AM, they have fighters on. All of that sort of stuff. It all adds into the fact that when football's finished on a Saturday evening, football fans will go and watch the boxing.
I mean, look at the likes of Richard Rapport, who had no profile before joining Boxer. All of a sudden, he's on Sky Sports News every other day.
Yeah.
And the list continues, doesn't it? Savannah Marshall.
And also, you've got another demographic, can't you, in Probellum?
Yeah.
That show last night, there wasn't many fans in the arena, granted.
But let's see tonight. Better
But
call tonight.
yeah, they should be tonight. But the production is great. They're aligning themselves with some real top talent. Andy Clark, Paul Smith Jr. on commentary were fantastic last night. They work really, really well together. There's good chemistry between them two.
Yeah, me and Paul Smith Jr. had an exchange this morning on Twitter because I'm friendly with Paul. And I said it. I likened it to anyone who's watches Sky Sports football in the UK. I likened it to a little bit like Carragher and Neville, where when they did fall out, it was respectful, but it was nice to see a difference of opinion now and again. And also, what I would add is that there wasn't partisan towards the broadcaster's fighter, and it was refreshing.
They were very balanced.
Well, we both sat there watching fights where on numerous channels where they've got a vested interest in a certain fighter and they're calling it like that fighter's winning, when they're nowhere near winning. And that's because they got that vested interest because it's their broadcaster's fighter. So that was really refreshing. I think Probellum have got a way to go, but they've got the right people in place to grow it.
I completely agree. And the fact that last night they announced the signing of Jack Catterall is huge for them. That opens massive, massive avenues with fight fans, in my opinion.
Well, it's got a lot of momentum at the minute, hasn't it? So they need to capitalise on that momentum.
The whole of the UK, if not the whole of the world, are still talking about him getting shafted. So, I mean, it's a major signing. How the hell Boxer and Matchroom have allowed Probellum to?
Well, he could be disillusioned with the mainstream. He could be disillusioned with them, and Probellum got in as a fresh new option. So let's see what we can do for him. And remember, there's some very influential people behind the scenes at Probellum who have probably told him the dream. But just coming back to Zach Parker and the fact that Queensbury have got the card over in the UK, and this will be the final point, is it does bode well for David Evanesian, doesn't it? Because I can see similarities between the journeys. Let's hope that Frank puts his hand in his pocket and pulls some big fighters from the US and get him over here to fight David after this next fight. So
I absolutely agree, mate. This Saturday is with no disrespect to the opponent, is a tick over for Evanesian. He'll win the fight easily because let's have it right. He's world class.
Yeah,
and he needs the WBF to step up.
But I just see similarities in terms of nobody would be screaming Zach Parker's name out in super middleweight. So,
certainly not after. They might have done before, but certainly not now. Not after this fight. When he does what I think he's going to do to Andrade, no one's going to want to go near him. It'll be number one with the WBO in terms of rankings.
Yeah.
Obviously, at the minute, Canelo's tied up. We're going to go on to that in a minute, but Canelo's tied up, so he can only fight the best in that ranking division, and that's Andrade at the minute.
Yeah, what I mean is by forcing people to come over by paying them a shed load of money. That's what I mean. That's what's going to have to happen because he's been with Matchroom, they couldn't do it. So let's see what Warren does. We're very interested. So we'll bring that video to an end here, Andy. Okay, so guys, we go live Thursday, 7 p.m. We have people joining us from all around the world in terms of boxing fans. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you.